Hello, hello, my crafty friends. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to be going over some things about embossing folders and show you some of the newest ones I have. This is the one I just got from scrapbook.com. It's a 3D folder and it's very thick and it's just absolutely wonderful. And this is the piece that I made with it. Whoop, there we are. It's absolutely, I just love the depth. It's really pretty. It's a good, nice standalone. I cut this one down because, as I found out, you don't want to make the paper the exact same size as this. You want to still stick to your 5 1/4 by 4 because it bent. And so I ended up just cutting it down, which is no biggie. I can put pattern paper behind it for a matting. You can do both. You can put the embossed matting down on the card base first and then the pattern paper, or vice versa. And next, this is my wood grain, and it's a little bit bigger, of course. And you can put a bigger sheet in here to like put on a 5 by 7, and that's fine. But you just want to make sure it stays within the section so it doesn't get bent. And this is a little thinner. This is a 3D, nice and thick. And let me show you how you do this on your machine. Okay, this is my Vagabond platform. It's the platform itself. And then with the 3D folder, you put it flat on the platform. You do not put a plate down first, but then you cover it with the plate. Hello, hello, new joiners. Okay, see how I've just got the top plate on. The platform, the 3D embossing folder with the cardstock inside, of course, and then the top plate, and you run that through. Now for most of these other, I call them regular ones, you do not use this at all. This is the top adapter, thin die adapter that goes on top of the platform. And then you put the plates on. Or no, you do not use this adapter for these. You just use the plates. I recently bought new plates. So what I did was I threw away the bottom one, which is really disgusting and not camera worthy at all. And then this was the top plate. So now I use this for the bottom plate in one of the brand new ones for the top plate. So you put the bottom plate down on the platform. You put your embossing folder with the cardstock inside. Then you cover it with this plate and then you run it through. You just don't use the adapter. Now with this one, this is the Birch embossing folder, really popular from Stampin' Up. Because I use a thicker cardstock, then that meant I had to use a shim on top and on the bottom to give it more pressure. So ideally, I would use this on the top plate. I would use this piece, a piece of cardstock or something on top of the folder itself, and then the top plate. Because I use watercolor paper, and I will show you that in a second. So here is, I did this on watercolor paper. Let's see if I can get a good, there we go. You can see the indentions. I am going to be watercoloring this for Christmas cards, but just not today. And then another one of my embossing folders is this sports. And it's going to be a landscape card because here's how the embossing turned out. And then here is another, it's a 3D, but it's not as thick as, where did I put it? As this one. Almost, but not quite. Some of these are old. That makes a real pretty chevron pattern. Let's see if I can find it. There we go. It's hard to find the camera angle here. If you're just tuning in, I am showing you the different embossing folders I have and the way they look and the different techniques you can use. So here is, like I said, this is so big, but here's my 5 1/4 by 4 paper that I wanted to make sure to get the knot hole. So I put it like right in the middle, and then I ran it through. Now for Christmas, I have this really cute presents folder. It's thin, and it also has the advantage you can use well, any of them. You can either use the embossed, which means if you open it up with this, the name right here. So you would open it and put your paper in, and you would get an embossed image. But if you turn it around, it's debossed. So let me see if I can show this. See how that's embossed? That looks pretty cool, right? But you can turn it around for the debossed side, and I think that looks just as cool. Well, this one took a little bit of work. This is from Stampin' Up, and it's also thick. So I did the same shim technique because it is thick. Let's check this other one. Yeah, it is thicker than the Birch. So I did not, I didn't use the adapter, but I still used 2 pieces. I used the adapter, 2 pieces of shim, but just the 1 plate to cover. And let me find it. It's still really light. I could have probably, I didn't want to risk breaking my machine, but I think this is fine. And again, you can use the debossed side also. And this is one of my favorites. This is a Tim Holtz embossing folder, very thick, 3D, and it makes the most interesting pattern. And I use silver, of course. I'm going to be making a masculine birthday card for the handyman. So I think that's really cute. And then I could not find my brayer, but I decided I didn't need it. A brayer is just like a little roller. You roll it in your ink, and then you can roll your paper, or in this case, the inside of the embossing folder. But what I did was I just took my ink and rubbed it over the part that I was going to lay down. Then I put my paper in and just ran it through the embossing folder. I ran it through the die cut machine. And I can cut this down because, of course, it didn't go all the way around the edges. But I think that's another cute way to do it. You've debossed the white. The white kind of is sunken down a little bit, and you get more color within there. Okay, I have several more back in my group there. This is another example of a bigger piece. Like if I wanted to do a 5x7 Christmas card, I would definitely use this. And it's stars. Okay. I'm going to be using this piece to make a card for my grandson. He's big into football. This is make a good masculine card also. Or a fall card. And I think I'm going to use these for sympathy cards. And I will be painting these to go on Christmas cards also. So stay tuned for that. Mandalee, hi. How are you? Yes, I was just going over some examples of my embossing folders and some of the different things I did with them. So here's just looking at all the examples I did. This is from the newest 3D I got from scrapbook.com. How's everything your way? Where are you from? Where are you watching from? Yes. Yes. It's definitely fun. I had to do a lot of experimenting to make sure I didn't break my machine. But I have several 3Ds. These three here. And this one's, I wouldn't call it a 3D, but it's thick. It's pretty thick. That's going to be a lot of fun for Christmas. And then this has been around Stampin' Up! For a long, long time. The Birches. I'm going to be, I went ahead and stamped on white watercolor paper. So I'm going to be watercoloring that. Not today, but I will be putting them on Christmas cards. And this one I thought was a unique. I went ahead and inked up. I just took my ink pad and rubbed it on this side of the folder, put my paper in, and ran it through. And it made the really cute effect. I'm going to be cutting it down because I did not get it all the way. But yes, I'm going to be trying a tips, tricks, and techniques every Saturday. So please stay tuned for that. And also, for my next 10 on the 10th, I'm going to be using these for Christmas cards, I think. Well, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. We will talk to you later. Bye-bye.